A good afternoon to everybody. We are off for a very long walk to West Lake, and we're going there because 4 years ago I actually kind of lived there for a couple of months, so I just want to check the place out. But the main thing I'm going to be doing in today's video, it's going to be a bit of a budget street food video today. I really want to do one, and Hanoi's a pretty good place to do it. It's 3 o'clock now and I have not eaten at all. So I'm going to go from here, do about a 5-kilometer walk all the way to West Lake. By that time, I was going to say there might be a bit of a sunset, but maybe not today. And then along the way, grab loads of nice street food. Doesn't sound too bad to me. And the first stop is going to be this really nice banh mi stall. Because a banh mi for the first meal of the day is something I'm very much looking forward to. So a banh mi pork with some pate, some vegetables. Good start to the day. I want it nice and crispy and flat, you know, a bit like a panini. So, and they do that well here. I find the banh mi's a lot nicer in Hanoi than they are in Ho Chi Minh. And as I'm going around and eating all day and night, I'll thank you. As she just mentioned 25,000, I'll let people know how much this is going to cost me. And yeah, hopefully try some new foods I've never tried before as well. And you'll be able to see clearer what I mean as well. Look, it's a flat banh mi. It's so much nicer than the ones you get in Ho Chi Minh. So it's more crisp then, and then it keeps the heat. So yeah, loads better. Hanoi is so much better for banh mi's. That's given me a little bit of energy to continue my walk. And as I do this long walk to West Lake, I'm sure I'll see lots of wonderful sights and people on the way. So hopefully I can capture that as well as possible. It's quite hard to not stop every 2 minutes and film something. It's one of the most photogenic cities I've ever been to, which is really good if you're doing what I'm doing. No problem for content in this city. You see this a lot in Vietnam as well. If anything needs to be dispersed of, quite simple. Not quite sure you'd get away with that in Europe on the side of the road. I think it might be the 3rd time I'm going to mention it. It'll be the last. But just in case people watch this video that haven't watched my previous ones, if you're from England and need an ATM in Vietnam, the lowest rates by a mile, Agribank. You can't miss them, but make sure you use them. 22,000 Vietnamese dong for one transaction of up to 3 million, which is around £100. I've seen this game quite a few times in Vietnam actually. This really cool little board game that people play. I might have to do my research here. If anybody knows what that board game is, please comment below. I'd be really interested to know. And that's why I like doing these kind of walking vlogs in a way. They're my favourite things to do because, especially in a city, you don't have to walk far to find something quite interesting to film and talk about. Yeah, you've got the human interaction side of it as well, which is always nice. And I think that's what people want to see. And the reason that little kids sometimes look at you so strangely, well, they're obviously looking at the camera more, is because it'll be the first time pretty much they'd have ever seen a GoPro. So they just have no clue what it is. A couple of cockerels eyeing each other up. There's a few more down there. Cockerel fighting is a thing here. Roaming freely around the park, but this one's caged up. Yeah. We'll leave them to it, to the death. Really nice tailor shops in Hanoi. If you'd have seen a couple of days ago, I was speaking about the silk shops, which is more for the females, but there's plenty for the males here as well. Just check this building out. I wonder if they'll give me a free suit if I tell them I'm a YouTuber. Should we go and try? Actually, we're getting off their seats as well. But yeah, smart tailors here, very nice. Finally, one of the most famous dishes, and I've not even tried one yet. A banh bao.
Bánh bao.
Ah.
Trứng muối, trứng cút.
And this banh bao is a Vietnamese dumpling with pork in it. And it was actually brought to Vietnam by Cantonese immigrants. I think originally it's actually a Cantonese dish. I'm honestly not sure if I've ever tried one. Doesn't look very appetizing, does it? But it's also got onions in the center as well. It's like onions, whatever it is. I've tried it at least. 15k this was, for a giant Vietnamese dumpling with some pork and some onions in the middle. So let's keep on walking to this lake. We've got around 20 minutes to go. I've been to the lake before, to be honest. It's not the most spectacular of lakes, but I just want to go there because I kind of used to live around there, so I want to see if anything's changed. Yeah, and Kong cafes, as I've mentioned, I really like them, and they're always situated in some really nice areas. So it's obviously the weather's pretty bad, but it's not very cold or anything, and you can just sit down there with your coffee and look over the lake. Doesn't sound a bad 10 minutes to me. Really enjoyed that coffee, I must admit. It's like a coconut ice cream. This isn't actually the lake that we're going to. This is the small lake that's next to it. But I actually kind of know this area now because we're coming up to the roads that I used to walk up and down most days. So, doing a bit of fishing. Hello. Hello. And next to this ancient Buddhist temple behind me, that's on a very small little island, we have Lake West. It's massive. As you can see, it's actually really nice walking around this lake. Just quite nice and peaceful. I thought I knew the way where I was going. I don't. I'm lost, but it's all good. I know where I am in relation to being home, so that's fine. I'm not going to stay out too much longer. Funny thing, the guy just said nice shoes. Yeah, I bought them from a dodgy market yesterday. I'm not going to stay out too much longer. A bit of a health update. It wasn't just the fever I was suffering with a few days ago. I'm just coming off having a bit of a lung infection, and I've had no antibiotics for it either. So my immune system's really weak at the minute. Combine that with lack of sleep, not good. And I'm starting to get a bit cold. So I'm just going to have a little more of a wander around the lake, and then as long as I'm fairly close to my hotel, that's fine, and we'll stop and get some food on the way home. I'm just not walking miles and miles away from home when I'm not feeling too well. Anyway, but I thought I'd give you a little update. See these places everywhere in Vietnam as well. Street hairdressers. That will be a bargain. He's doing well considering there's not much light. But yeah, I like them. Really good. Obviously all the locals go there. I'm trying to think if I've actually had one or not before. I'm not here much longer, but that should have been a video in itself. It was an easier time, wasn't it? When all you did for 7 hours a day was just kick a football. It's quite nice, this park, though. Well, I say park. It's just nice to get away from the heavy load of traffic either side. I know I've mentioned it before, but the attitude Asian people have to fitness is absolutely incredible. It's not exactly like the nicest bit of gym equipment you'll get, but there's still a good like 10 people working out. Maybe not quite the best form for that machine, but at least he's doing the effort. When I walked under this bridge, it reminded me I'm going to need to take some shots of the Hanoi railway. It just came to my mind again. It's the most famous shot in the whole of Hanoi to take. So I'm going to need to find some railway tracks in the next few days and take some nice shots of it. Just about stumbled home. I'm never ever going to get bored of this square though. Stunning. That cathedral still looks nice. The old quarter is so nice in Hanoi. Even all the buildings just look so nice. Brilliant, found a really good place to eat. It's called the Corner Food. There's a Vietnamese name for it as well. 4.9 on Google Maps out of nearly 250 reviews. I need a big feed. Here we go. Stir-fry beef noodles. This will cheer me up. Load of water. I'm going to eat this and then head back. Some nice food there to finish things off. I needed that. So, I apologise for ending this vlog not like how I started it, but I'm not apologising for feeling a bit unwell. It's the trouble, when you start a vlog you can be high energy, but I think it's because of the humidity and because I've got a bit of a lung and a bit of a chest infection. Because it's quite humid and it's damp, it's really got to my chest. So I'm going to call it an early night and get some good rest. After a good night's sleep, I'm going to come back nice and strong tomorrow. Don't worry about that. I am a warrior. So let's work more travel. See you on the next one, everyone.